Hello and welcome to our new Crusader Kings III campaign. Now, I'm a product of the Scottish education system, which means my knowledge of English history is a little bit lacking. We have 1066, nothing happens for a while, then we have William Wallace and Robert the Bruce and everything is great. But, in between, apparently England controlled a large chunk of France, in the 1178 start of Crusader Kings, for example. And I feel like we need to put a stop to that. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to play as this guy. Now this guy is French, and I want to play as somebody who is French, or at least from somebody from around here, because they have these two cultural traditions. Now these two cultural traditions feed really well into something that's new in the latest patch for Crusader Kings, which is the additions to knights. So, there are two main things in knights. The first one is we now have knight permissions, where we can edit who exactly is a knight. And that's really cool, because we've tried to curate knights before, but we kind of lack the tools for it. This very much helps us, especially the minimum prowess thing. Quite a lot of the time you lose track of who your knights are because they automatically refill. If we set a minimum level of prowess for our knights, it will start telling us when we don't have knights who are up to our standards, and we can actively go and look for new knights. So that's fantastic. They also added in new hotkeys, as you can see by the fact that we can open and close things without needing to move the mouse. They added them all over the game, and I'm very excited to learn what they all are because it's going to make our life a lot easier. Do I know what they all are? No, I have no idea yet, but we'll get there. The other thing that we're going to get to is accolades. Now, they've completely overhauled the accolade system. They've got rid of the primary and secondary attribute thing. They changed how you gain new attributes. It's all very cool. We don't have access to it yet because they also restricted it to be at Duke level and above. So we're going to get to that later. And there are lots of other things we're going to get to later, such as we now have a ledger that gives you lots of information. And we now have a situations tab that tells you about ongoing stories. Stories are what I used to call event chains. So basically they're this thing happens and this thing happens and this thing happens. One of their examples is pets. So once you have a pet, your pet can then do all sorts of things, and that gets added to a story, which is a set of events that chain off of each other. So that's now all in your situations tab. But we need to actually have some things happen for us to find out what's happening. So, in order for things to happen, we first of all have to have a look at our character and try and figure out what the next steps for him are. So, first of all, we're 58. We're not going to live forever, especially as they've also added in new infirm traits. So, infirm trait has been overhauled. Used to be it was just one trait and it just kind of did one set of things, right? It had some negative health stuff, it had some negative prowess stuff, it put some negative effects on you. It doesn't do that anymore. Now it's a gradual infirmity. So you get it, and once you get it, it just kind of keeps getting worse. It gets added to year on year on year, and it's going to end up with characters, 1, getting a lot worse as they age, and 2, dying a lot more consistently. So at 58 years of age, we're going to have to consider who our heir is. And our heir is this guy, Wulfgar. Now Wulfgar is not a particularly good knight. He's shy, he's forgiving, he's lazy, but that's okay. He doesn't need stats, he doesn't need traits. What he needs to do is exist, and being French, he will help us get better knights because we're going to get more martial education traits as the more valued. We're going to get more of these traits as the more valued. I don't know what to call these. I guess I would call them knight traits, but they're not really, but you get the idea. We're going to get more of those traits. Aspiring Blade Master, if we can get it, is going to be fantastic because it's going to have even more bonuses, so it's going to be even better. We're going to have less people who are Craven, less people who are Content. Content doesn't matter. Craven is great for knights to not have because less martial, less prowess makes worse knight. Pretty simple. Also, this is something that we need to consider. Likelihood of dying in battle goes down. So we might actually have quite a big turnover in knights without that. I think there's something else in one of these ones, although I might have been looking at... Oh no, it isn't here. Knights are slightly more prone to injury in battles. There is a negative. So, we're going to lose Craven, and we're going to gain this. So our knights might have quite a bit of turnover, but as long as we have a reasonable system of training them up, it'll be fine. And we can also challenge rivals to single combat, and we can spar against knights as well. So all of this stuff is really cool. Anyway, I got distracted. Back to this guy. We don't really care about who he is. We care about who we can get into court around him. Might want to find him a spouse who's good to get him an heir of his own, but other than that, it's fine. Because as much as we love our granddaughter, she's not going to be our heir. So we're going to move on from that. We also have another son. This son is also not a very good knight, and he's not going to inherit anything. We need to figure out what we're doing with this son. But for now, I suspect an alliance might be in his future. We have a daughter. She is married to somebody who is not very impressive in any way, shape, or form. Don't know what we're doing with him. I mean, I guess it's quite nice that he's brave. That's kind of cool. But we're not going to make him our educator, so yeah, I really just don't know what we're going to do with these two. We'll figure that out. And then we have another son. Now, this son is a little bit better as a knight. I mean, he's still not fantastic, but he's a little bit better. But yes, I suspect I also see an alliance in his future. I think that this generation might be mostly alliances. We have two siblings, either of them any good? No. And no. So, we have a whole lot of mediocrity to deal with. Also, by the way, our liege is imprisoned. Our liege is imprisoned by King Henry II of England. She is also, by the way, married to King Henry II of England, which I guess would explain how King Henry II of England got a large chunk of France, and I would know that if my history was a little bit better, as in my knowledge of history. Anyway, there we go. So, now we've got all that out of the way, what are we going to do? Well, I think we have to start with the basics. First of all, what kind of lifestyle are we looking for? Well, our character, he has a stewardship education, but it's kind of garbage. Also, by the way, they changed educations. So, you'll see here, he has a -1 to his domain limit. If we go and have a look, does anyone have a better education? There we go, level 3. Level 3 gives you +1 to your domain limit. If we found a level 4, it's +2 to your domain limit. Domain limit has been moved from stewardship. It no longer affects it in any way onto education, which is very interesting. It's going to make education a lot more valuable to have. They've also moved it around a little bit in here. So this only gives you 1 domain limit, and I think they've moved it onto other places. Although, do I remember where they are? No, but there are some other ones in here that do have it, which I will find at any moment now. There you go, Absolute Control. Absolute Control is one of the examples of one that now has domain limit when previously it didn't. So, what was the purpose of this change? Well, what they wanted to do is they wanted to move a lot of power from stewardship, because stewardship was objectively just really, really good. Because pretty much all your problems in the game could be solved with money, right? You could declare wars with money. You could build buildings with money. You could increase people's opinion with money, right? Like, you could even do better schemes with money, right? Basically, everything could be solved with money. And they wanted to take a little bit of that power away, and they did that in terms of domain limits. So now you don't get free extra domain, which is the number of holdings you can hold. You now need to actually invest in some other stuff if you want to hold a huge number of holdings. So we'll need to figure that out. Anyway, that being said, we have a ton of stuff in stewardship. This is really, really good still. We're still going to go with stewardship. Do we actually make any money? We make 10 a month. 10 a month isn't bad. 10 a month is perfectly reasonable as an amount of money to make for a very small guy. So, with that in mind, I think I'll just take 10% more. There we go. So now we're making 11 a month. Great. Lovely. Also, as an aside note, for people who watched the previous series, we had a ton of crashes with the game. So far, we've not crashed in this episode yet, which is not the case for the previous 10 hours of trying to record this. So, you know, fingers crossed I've solved the issue. But if we crash, we're going to continue on and we're just going to pretend it didn't happen, and then I will install Crusader Kings on a completely different machine and we'll play it there. But anyway, for now, we've set that. Let's have a look at our court first. Okay, they're actually not terrible as a court. I think what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start you on trained commanders. Are you my best marshal? No. But you might be my best steward. Well, yeah. I think I'm going to swap my marshal to start with. And your job is basically to find me new knights. So, you're just going to basically find me new knights and improve my knights. That's your job. You're going to improve knights, find knights. Spy Master, he likes me, he's a powerful vassal. Carry on, you're doing a great job. Steward, now this is currently my son. I think that you are not good enough to keep your job. Are you good at anything? Not really, so I think my brother can have that job for now. Now, do we want him to get us 4% tax? Or do we want him to increase development? That's an interesting question now, because if we have a look at development here, development's pretty high, because we're in 1178. Also, I should be playing with the end date off, although I haven't actually confirmed that, so we're not worried about us running into the end date. But yeah, development's actually pretty high across the board. I don't know if we need it, because I don't know if we're going to get that big an advantage on everyone else. Promote culture. Is my county not French? No, it's Occitan. Well, you know what? You have a job. For the next 15 years, you're going to be promoting Frenchness. And then this is an easy choice. This one improves things with your direct vassals, and it stops you having tyranny loss. I have no direct vassals, I have no tyranny, therefore we would much rather be on foreign affairs. Just seems like a straightforward type choice. And then here, you currently have religious relations on. Let's just have a quick look here. Do I have any wars I can declare? I don't think so, no. So I might decide that I want to take someone's land. So who's my liege? My liege is currently you. So anyone who's an Aquitaine we can declare war on if we want to. Okay, so I probably don't want to declare it on my liege. So let's have a look here. Got any obvious people who we want to get? Could declare on the only other Frenchman who exists. At least in our lands. Or I could go south. Or I could go north into the Normans. He actually seems like quite a good fighter. Now, he's Prince Richard. So Prince Richard, son of King Henry. Now that's a good way to, declare our intentions. Take out the son of the king. Yeah. Okay. Let's fabricate a little claim here. So it's to be 11 months. So we want to have a little bit of money in 11 months to get our claim. Now, are we strong enough to beat him? In theory, yes, we have more troops. Now, does that actually mean we're strong enough to beat him? Let's see. So he has 940 levies, 4 knights and 20 pikemen. Also, because we've done some things I'm going to save, I'm going to be a little bit paranoid for a little bit. Apologies. As I said, a lot crashing. Anyway, so he's got a lot of levies, 200 pikemen. We have some crossbowmen and light footmen. So light footmen counter heavy infantry, crossbowmen counter heavy infantry, heavy cav, and archer cav, and his guys counter cavalry. Yeah. So basically, neither of our sets of men at arms are going to do anything to each other. His, I think, are slightly stronger on average. Actually, our crossbowmen are much stronger than his, at least in terms of attack. But our light footmen are a lot worse. But we also have a lot of crossbowmen. So I think that we would probably win the war. But we could do with some allies, right? Some allies would secure that up for us. Okay. So, let's go and find some allies. Actually, let's start... You know what? Let's start with our son. We're not going to look for allies with him. That's not our purpose with our son. What we want to do with our son is we want to find him an alliance that we want to find him a marriage we actually like. So that's what we're going to do here to start with. I have no save presets. That's because I reloaded the game. Or not reload the game, reinstalled the game. Okay, so we'll set one up from scratch. So, how old is our son? He's 27. Okay, that's fine. Let's say I want somebody who's within 10 years of my son. Okay. I would love them to be an adult at this point because I want them to have an heir. I want them to be healthy. All we're doing here, by the way, is just reducing this number. We want to reduce it down as small as we can. I would love them to be Catholic, so we reduce the number a little bit more. Culture? We'll leave that for now. Do I want them to have an inheritable trait? Of course I want them to have an inheritable trait. Okay. Now, let's say that I want them to not be lowborn. That leaves us with 2. Now 2 is a number I can work with. We can have a look at these 2 individually. So we have the granddaughter of this guy of Dal, or we have you, who is the granddaughter of the Count of the former Count of Lombardy. Who currently holds Lombardy? Lombardy is currently held by nobody. Okay. Interesting. Well, she's not very good, but we could invite her to be our wife. Okay. What can we do to change this? Let's say 15 years. Nobody? All? No. So, oh, but if I take away adult, there we go. So there are a few people who are younger. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's have a look at the younger ones, because now there's 6 options. So we have Alice, who is the daughter of this guy. Okay, so that could work. Could work. He's got 900 troops. He's not that far away. She is a little bit young, but that could work for us. We're not in a horrible situation, even if he doesn't have an heir, because we could marry her matrilineally. So that's not horrible. It's not ideal, but we could do that. We have you, daughter of some random count over here in Hungary. We're not going to do that. We have you, who is a daughter of this guy. And then we have this person down here. Daughter of this person who has 2,700 troops. He's a little bit far away, but he has a lot more troops. That's something to consider. That could be really good. She's not that out there in terms of age. Yeah, I think she could work. The only negative is that her trait is a beauty trait, while I'd much prefer to bring in Hale. You know what? I'm going to marry Alice. I think that Alice fits us better. We're marrying into a house which is not that far away. They're also part of England, which is fine. Which we can work with. Yeah, I think we're going to marry Alice. I think this is fine. Right, are we going to do a grand wedding? No, because I don't have any money. So let's send that proposal through. Okay, next, we're going to have a look at our next son. Now this son, let's just reset this here. This son, we care about who he marries a lot less. Now, we could marry him into Hungary. That is a very valid option for us. He has an alliance with House Arpad. That'd be something that we could definitely use. And this one... Actually, do we have a son who's slightly better aged here? Yes. So we could maybe marry our 18-year-old son to his 16-year-old daughter. That would be perfectly okay. The only negative is that... well, I guess there isn't a negative. Yeah, I guess that would be fine. Yeah, I was going to say that we're not really going to be able to do anything in his wars, but I guess that's not really a negative, so... Yeah, that's fine. Let's just send a proposal through. If he's happy, we're happy. Right. Here? Well, it's given us another option. Princess Sophie of Denmark. Do you want to maybe marry into Denmark as well? Sure, why not? Let's marry into Denmark as well. We're not going to try and use our alliances as crutches, but it's quite nice to have a few alliances here and there. Right. So we won't call them in unless we need them. Right. Siblings? My brother. So you could potentially marry over here. Let's put some more restrictions on who we're marrying our brothers to here for a second. So let's just go in here and say, I want them to be Catholic. Which they are. I want them to be healthy. Let's say I want them to have inheritable traits. And I want them to not be lowborn. Okay, that leaves us with 4. You can maybe marry Elda. Yeah, doesn't get us an alliance, but that's okay. You can marry her. Trying to get more Hale into our court. Then we're going to have a look at my second brother here. My second brother... Well, you could marry this person who we were looking at previously. Yeah, you can marry her. I think that's fine. Okay, cool. Let's go that. Very arbitrary, but most of the marriage decisions are. I told you I'm going to be paranoid about saving the game. just because I've had so many crashes. Right, and this is our most successful run so far. Next, now that we've done that, is there anything else I want to set up? Oh yeah, I also have all of these tutorials popping up because it's a reinstalled save. We're just going to ignore them. So, we have a personal physician we can bring in. Guy. Guy's 38. Once he gets the physician trait, he's actually going to be a lot better at it. I think he's going to be okay. Yeah, I think Guy is fine. I think once he gets that physician trait, he'll be perfect. And then maybe we give him improved skills. It costs us a little bit of our prestige per month, but gives him a chance of getting the novice physician trait. And once he gets that, he gets a huge boost to his aptitudes. So, yeah. Next one is Caravan Master. You generally want a Caravan Master. We can have that be our daughter. That's okay. Yeah, that's acceptable. Then we just have her try and improve her own skills, and we switch her on to prepare army when we get there. Yeah. Anything else? Tutors are nice to have, but do we have anybody who's good at being a tutor? No. Main things you want to look out for tutors is you want them to be somebody who'd be good as a guardian. So even though this guy's aptitude is good, he's actually not that good as a guardian because he has no traits that are going to be good for a guardian. We would much rather him have some good, like, education or good intelligence traits. So quick, shrewd, intelligent, or genius would all be very good here. The other thing that we should look out for, and I don't look out for this a lot in other series, but I'm going to specifically try and do this in this series because we're looking for knights. I want to look for personality traits. So I want to bring in people who are actually going to be good at educating knights. So we want to look for somebody there. Now, Seneschal doesn't matter at all. Anyone can be our Seneschal, and we should have a Seneschal because it improves the position of everyone else, thanks to organized court. Also, it's going to improve our legitimacy, and legitimacy gives you a ton of little bonuses which all add up over time. So I'm quite happy to pay my brother to be my Seneschal. It does cost quite a lot of money, but we're still earning above 10 a month, so yeah. Jeffrey, my brother, you shall be my Seneschal. You're going to organize the court. Our wet nurse, we have nobody who fulfills the requirements, but I think that might be because I have no children, not because I have no wet nurse people. So I think the wet nurse requires that there is a child, although I don't know if it actually says it here. Maybe not, but I think it does, or unless they changed it. Do we have any children in our court? That would be the easiest way for me to find this out. Court, adult, child. Yes, we have one granddaughter. Okay, so I do have, yeah, of course I have a granddaughter, in which case we should have a wet nurse. So we need to find somebody who can be a requirement, so we need to have all of this sort of stuff. Basically, under 46 and not doing anything else. Okay, that's fine. They have to be lowborn or of an insignificant dynasty. Okay. Fair enough. So we can find somebody who can fit that. Then beyond that, I would love to have a personal champion. I'd love to have a personal champion who's improving his skills each month. Currently, Amar here is our best knight. So therefore, he is going to be our personal champion. We're going to appoint him, and we're going to get him improving his own skills. He's going to try and be the best knight that he can be. Right. That's fine. So what else do we need to do here? Don't really need bodyguards, don't need a master of the hunt right now. So we're looking for a wet nurse and a tutor. Okay. So, I'm going to let time advance. We're going to go forward a month, and we're going to have a look at some other stuff. I just want to see what happens with our current stuff. Alliance formed. Wonderful. Marriages are going through. This is going through. More marriages and other such stuff. Oh yeah, if I zoom out enough, you can see that England did not just fall apart there. We have formed our alliances. My liege was released from prison. Wonderful. And we are not married. Oh, right. Yeah, we should definitely marry somebody. Right, we'll do that in a second. But for now, we have gone forward a month, which I think I have the autosaves on per month. But you know what? Actually, that's a great thing to check. Apologies, I know I'm constantly checking things, but there you go. So autosaves every month. So now we've done that, let's have a look at our courtiers. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's marry ourselves off. Now, what do we actually want from marrying ourselves off? Previously, the answer was stewardship. No matter what, the answer was stewardship. Really. Unless you wanted a child, your answer was stewardship. So what do we want? This one, we can get opinion. Do we care? Not really. Prestige? No. 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 None of that matters. Martial. So Martial would be nice because it could increase our number of knights. It would make our army tougher. We're going to go to war. Martial would be nice. This can get me more money, which is still good. Like, domain tax is still good. Actually, these don't matter. But yeah, domain taxes are still good. Travel speed's okay. Intrigue doesn't really matter for us. We're not doing intrigue right now. Learning doesn't really matter. I think I want martial. I think out of these, actually, I want martial right now. Let's find us a spouse who's going to prop us up here. Now, actually, ideally, you know what I want? I want a do we have a genius available? There are no geniuses who can marry us. Okay. Anyone intelligent? We have some intelligent people who can marry us. So we can marry Trude here. She's actually okay. She's got reasonable martial. She would be fine as a wife. Now, is this going to cause us major issues? With lower legitimacy level to aspiring. What does that actually... Okay, small crash. So where were we? Decreasing our legitimacy level. What does that actually do for us? So if we reduce our legitimacy level to 1, which it would reduce to, it's not going to go any further than 1, right? Because it's going to put it to 137. So that means instead of getting reduced short range duration, which doesn't matter a ton for us, but might for our heir, reduce casus belli cost and slightly increase marriage acceptance, we will instead just get the short range duration. I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking the legitimacy hit right now. Gives us an intelligent person in court. Now, are they going to be good for educating our knights? That's the next question. Now, sadistic is actually kind of good for knights because you get additional prowess. Obviously, you like to think that knights are virtuous, but it would be okay. Just is fine. Gregarious is fine. It's not really what we're looking for here in terms of a knight educator. How about you? You're also not really what we're looking for. So, two people who would be fine, but they're not really what we're looking for. And if they're not what we're looking for, we shouldn't take that hit. So I'm going to keep looking. We're going to go for shrewd. Nobody's shrewd. Alright, quick. Anybody quick who can marry? Okay, there are people who are quick. Who has the best martial? So nobody really has great martial. Zealous would be fine. Brave is kind of what we're looking for. That's like our 100% one. Although it has the same problem. Likelihood of dying in battle is bad. Brave would be fine. Are you really our educator? I don't think you're our educator. So if we're not going to have an educator, instead what we're going to do is we're going to change this. We're instead going to say, actually, I don't want to take a legitimacy hit. We're not going to get ourselves a tutor. What we're going to do instead is we're going to say, not lowborn. We're going to say, who has the best martial out of everybody? That's Sancha here. Sancha is the best martial. Okay, I think we're going to marry Sancha. Easy. Gets us some improvement with this random house here. Who's the best person in this house? It's this unlanded guy. Alright. So it's not a huge alliance for us. Well, it's not even an alliance for us, but it does get us somebody with great martial, which is going to help us. So let's do that. Okay. So, that's fine. We're on to the new month. And let's see here. Spouse. She's looking good. Currently, these are what she's giving us. Instead of that, I'm just going to get her to give us purely martial. So our martial now sits at 13. This looks a lot better. We're getting positives for things. We get an extra knight available. That's some nice stuff. Oh, also apparently I'm my liege's spy master. That's interesting. I don't think there's anything I want to do while being my liege's spy master, but it's definitely interesting. We could act against our liege if we wanted, but I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, we can station a men-at-arms regiment. Easy. We station our crossbowmen. Why do we station our crossbowmen? Well, we have more of them, and the buff is bigger because they're better. So, it's really easy to choose them over the light footmen. So, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so now we've done that. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at our court. So we're going to say, court, who is not married? So we're looking for adults who are... Where are we? Where are we? Oh, eligible. That's new. That's actually great. This used to be like not married, but now it says eligible. Well, that actually makes it even better. Okay. We're going to save this as Court Mary. There we go. So, we have Guy, our marshal, our nephew, and our bishop. Excuse me, our bishop isn't eligible. What's this? Characters that are available for marriage. He's not available for marriage. Okay, anyway. Ignoring that, we have our nephew. Alright, nephew. Let's find you someone to marry. Now, I think he's too far away for an alliance, because I don't think there are any alliances we can get. So he's just a random member of my court right now, effectively, who just happens to be my nephew. In fact, he's not even my dynasty, he's just a nephew. He's my... Wait a second. My mother... Oh, right, that makes perfect sense. Sorry, I was thinking that was my parent. Or I thought that was his parent there, and I was like, my mother was his parent? That can't be nephew. No, it's my brother's son, obviously. That's fine. Okay. Why does my brother have a different dynasty than me? He doesn't. Why do you... Or wait. Yeah, wait a second. You have a different dynasty than your son? How did that happen? Alright. That falls into the, I don't know, column. Right. Let's find you someone to marry. So let's just say they're going to be within 10 years of you. They're going to have an inheritable trait, and let's say, because you're not lowborn, they're not going to be lowborn. There's nobody. Alright. In which case, you could marry a lowborn, but we want them to be good. Actually, is there... We could go on to this thing again, actually. Is there anyone intelligent you could marry? That helps if I'm in the box here. So you've got the same options that we had here. Okay. So I was trying to turn that back. Yeah. I mean, Trude is okay. She's just not somebody who we want to educate people. But she's okay. You could marry Trude just to get intelligent into our court. The other option is that we look for something completely different. And we instead say, is there any Amazonian or Herculean people you can marry? What's the next one? Robust? We could get you to marry Robust Margaret. You know what? You're going to marry Robust Margaret. There we go. Right, let's get that one done. Because Robust is a good trait to get into our court. So let's do that. Who's next? Our Marshal? Well, you could marry Elena. That'd be fine. That's another robust person. Let's get another robust person into our court. And Guy, there's no more robust people left for you. What about Hale? Anyone Hale? Nope. Anyone, well, intelligent? Do we have the same two options? Nope. They don't want to marry Guy. What about Quick? Nope. Okay. I think these are... Wait a second. These are... I didn't realize there were only 4. These are his 4 options. Marry someone fecund. Fecund is a nice trait to get into court. Yeah. Why marry this fecund person? There we go. Right. And let's go forward a month so it doesn't an autosave. Wonderful. This is all fine. All fine. It's done an autosave. Wonderful. So, court's married off a little bit. We should have a wet nurse now. Yes, in fact we have 2 excellent wet nurses because robust is actually good for wet nurse, as is excellent health, which, oh, robust is a health boost. So, it is good in of itself and it contributes to health, which means it's even better. I'm going to go with the younger person just so we don't have to appoint someone else soon. Now, because she is my religion, I believe, she can give children at my court virtuous personality traits. What are virtues for our religion? Virtues are chaste, temperate, honest, compassionate, and forgiving. None of those are traits which make good knights. So, maybe I want to encourage competition. We can get children at court to have intrigue or prowess at the cost of opinion of other children? Sure. Tutors, we have a couple more options. Our best option right now is our sister-in-law, because she's quick. We didn't find anyone better, actually, when marrying people off. I guess the other option is there a, like, can invite thing yet? No, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to put that in here. I was trying to think of whether we could get, like, a, we'll accept an invite to court, but no. So we could go and look absolutely everywhere for someone who'd accept an invite to our court. But on the assumption that we don't have anybody, do we want this person to educate our children? Not really. Do we have somebody who we actually want to educate our children here? No, I don't have anyone I want to educate my children. So, all that means is that we have to give the children a guardian. Because having a tutor in of itself is good. But we don't want them to actually act as a guardian for children. So in this case, I am just going to pick the person who's best at the job. Actually, I'm going to pick somebody else because I don't like putting all the jobs on one person, because when they die, you have to reassign them all. So we're going to make my sister-in-law the tutor for everyone. We're going to get her to boost children at court. And then, well, interestingly, I don't know if that boosts children if you then send them away from court. That's interesting. Yeah. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe you can teach the court for now. And then I'm going to go to the only child at court. Child at court. I'm going to go and find her an educator. We're not going to educate her. I actually might have to find her an educator differently. Yeah. So let's reset to defaults. And what we're going to do is we're going to search all who are inside diplomatic range. Let's just do some basic things that we want to have here. So we want them to be my religion. Do you want them to be Catholic? You know what? I want them to be French. Let's just say we want them to be French. We're just trying to limit this again. So anything we can do to limit that. Not lowborn. Anything else we want here? Not imprisoned, so they have to be free. Most of this is fine. Yes, they have to be an adult. That reduces things a little bit. That's fine. And then I'm ideally looking for a genius. There are no geniuses that match my search. You know what? Let's take away French. Let's just say all. Let's look for a genius. Are there any geniuses? There is one. Prince Bishop Absalon Acerin of Skane. Would you like to educate my daughter? Yes, you would. Mainly because she is my courtier's child, apparently. Well, I'm gonna send my daughter over to be educated by this former Crusader genius Prince Bishop. Right, let's go forward a month. Wonderful. Okay, so now we've done that. Is there anything else I need to actually do? Don't think so. I think now we're waiting for this claim, which will happen in 7 months. Cool. Liege passed the law, limited crown authority. So this doesn't do a ton for us. All it means is that she can revoke titles. It doesn't mean that we can't declare war, which is important because, you know, might want to. So, oh, wait, I can declare war on this guy? What's my claim on this guy? What's my war? I have a claim. Wait, I have a claim on this guy. Oh, I missed that. But I have 2 claims. I have a claim on Belak here, which is currently held by my liege. But I also have a claim on this guy right here. He is weaker than us. He's allied to Limousine, though. Now, the benefit of him being allied to that person for him is that they can get to war a lot quicker than my allies. He's also allied to this guy. So, in fact, he's allied to 2 people who are right next to us. So he's fairly well protected. Now, we could call in someone like Hungary, but we're basically banking on Hungary, like, ditching everything, coming over here and winning the war before these guys beat us up. How about you? Are you allied to anyone yet? You're allied to France. Well, that's going to make life difficult for me attacking you. You know what? Abandon that. New plan is to get you. Now, who are my allies again? Denmark. this guy, and Hungary. You busy, Denmark? You don't look busy. Okay. Well, I think we might risk a war. I think I'd like this land. This land, by rights, is my land. Also, what's our succession law? High partition. Not ideal. It means my land would be split amongst my children when I die. But you know what? This should be my land. I've decided. So I'm going to press my claim on it. Let's do it. Yeah. Declared war. Ooh, this is new. Used to just be a little button somewhere else, but now it's here. Okay. Well, I'm going to call in my allies. I'm going to call in Denmark. I'm calling you. And I'm going to raise my troops right here. Cool. Relationships are damaged with the person I declared war on. Are these guys better anywhere? They're better in hills. Okay. And these guys? Forest, taiga, jungle. Farmlands, plains, 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 forest, 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 plains, 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 forest. Hills? Maybe I want to head to here? If I want to make my last stand here? Yeah. Let's go. They are going to raise their troops. They are going to cause us issues. Okay, minor crash. Off to the hills. A nose for profit. While out on a leisurely stroll, the cry of a particular merchant stands out from the regular hustle and bustle of the street. Greetings, my lord. I have an exquisite assortment of wares if my lord has the coin. My companion Raymond stops dead in his tracks, head cocked and intently staring at something in the merchant's stall. He leans in and confides with a hushed voice. That bauble over there is clearly a sacred relic from days gone past. It would be wise to acquire such a trinket. So, there are some new things in this event. Well, in all events. You can see we have more things that we can hover over. It shows you somebody. It shows you how they're related to you. It shows you who's this guy is as well. There's all sorts of interesting things that now appear on all events. It doesn't actually change the events that much, but it now shows you much more. Also, I believe they've changed event logic according to the patch notes, so that, if I understood it correctly, more events will be triggered to focus on people who are actually related to you or close to you in some way. By related, I don't mean like blood related, I mean like they are something to you, like this guy is our suffragan bishop, so he is someone we actually care about in some way. We don't overly care about him, but he's more than, you know, some random courtier who does nothing, right? So, yeah, some changes to events. Are we going to do this, though? I don't really want to lose money, so I'm kind of tempted to just move on. Also, yes, these are all now hotkeyable, so when we get to the point where we're done with events, we can just do something like this, and oh, the event's gone and we chose an option and we don't need to care about it. But yes, anyway, let's go. I want to sit here. I think this is our best place to sit in this war with our army. Hills is great for us. They don't have that many more troops for us, so we're going to get a bonus for being in hills to start with. Our crossbowmen are better in hills, which is good. Our crossbowmen are already insanely good. We have a ton of knights. I think hills is a good place to sit. We just sit here. We're not planning on doing anything. This war is not ours to win. This war is Denmark's to win. Our job is to sit here and not lose our army. And they can't move. If they move to my capital, I move to their capital. If they attack us, they're attacking into hills. There's nothing they can do right now. Okay, they're attacking into hills. So, we have also, I didn't even realize, we're defending in a river crossing as well. That's fantastic. So we get an even bigger bonus. Now, are they going to win this battle? Most likely, but they're not going to destroy us. Oh yeah, I was also explaining, I forgot, I was explaining before the crash. Reason we're not leading an army, we don't have stalwart leader. Stalwart leader reduce the risks of commanding armies. We really don't want to lead an army because if we lose a battle, there is a chance that we just straight up lose the war, which we don't want. Anyway, our goal right now is stall. Now I'm probably going to lose this battle. I'm just going to let you know, we're going to lose this battle. It doesn't matter. Our goal is to stall for Denmark to get here, and for these guys to get here. So this is fine for us. We're happy to take this fight, and I don't think it's going to be that bad. It's going to be bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be that bad. Okay, so let's start. both crossbowmen get bonuses fighting in favorable terrain. We have more knights. We have more troops. So right now it's looking great for us. It's not going to continue looking that way. Also, what's this one? Increases minimum battle roll, reduces maximum battle roll. Okay. So, you can see that we do have advantage in our favor. Because we're defending in a river crossing, defending in hills, and our commander martial skill versus what they've got. Although this guy's leading his own soldiers, so he gets an additional little bonus, we're still going to be ahead. And that translates to, in a second, we're going to lose this by a lot more than I thought we were. They also have more knights than us. Okay, that translates to 70% increased damage, which is not bad, right? That's perfectly reasonable, 70%. So if you think that we have like 70% more troops, that's quite nice. Also, what's this 11? Just 6 extra knights? Wow, that's actually quite a lot of extra power they've got there. But anyway, so we're going to fight them off here. We're getting about even losses, but we just don't have as many troops. Our knight wounded somebody. We retreat. We get 2% war or battle loss here. Oh, this is new as well. I like this. This new interface is kind of cool. Anyway, that's cool. This is the same. Yeah, this is the same. But they have done other changes in here as well. So we can now see the number of losses. So we lost 529. They lost 372. Okay, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Now, I'd like our 900 to not die there. Yeah, they're retreating for now, but that's okay. Again, our goal is to stall. So we have stalled that army successfully. Now Denmark has arrived. Hey, that's my granddaughter arrived. Perfect. So she's now getting educated. We're now going to head back to our own territory if we can to... hey, Denmark are winning this battle for us. Lovely. They have just significantly more troops. I mean, they're mostly levies, but there's significantly more of them. So Denmark's going to take a ton of losses, but that's good for us. Anyway, we're going to head back to our territory and we're going to just reinforce our troops there. My Marshal Gerard has been showing off a promising new recruit. He may not be of as noble stock as you, my liege, but on my name, I swear that Florenc is somebody you would want on your side. Yeah, he seems very good. He's a cautious leader. He's robust. He seems great. I'll take one Florenc. Now, are his traits great? Not necessarily what we would want. We don't really want that many sadistic people in court, but you know what? It's fine. For now, it's okay. Oh, I never stopped this? I'm gonna lose that claim. Yeah. Basically, that's just a problem with reloading the game. Sometimes you forget the one thing you did. I knew there was something I forgot. Anyway. Denmark went and won a war for us. Also, our wife is pregnant. Well done, Denmark. So Denmark, look how many they lost. They lost 1,000 troops in that. That is incredible, the number of troops they lost. However, for us, it's 40% war score. That's nice. Appreciate all the Danish lives that went into us winning this war. Just gonna sit here for a second. Resupply. Reinforce. And then let's go to our war goal. Hopefully Denmark will join us here with their siege units. Denmark, I can't help but notice that you're moving away somewhere. Why are you moving to attack there? What happened, Denmark? You're defending in the Nordmarker de jure war for the county of something, of which you're the main defender. Ah. Well, that is a problem. Where's my other ally? What happened to your army? Did it exists. Is it here? Oh, it's here. Okay, well. I'm going to siege, and I'm going to hope that we have enough troops to win this siege. 23 months. They don't have that many troops left on their side. How many do they have in total? 1,400. Okay, so they're going to be sitting here getting their troops back. Ooh! So this means that we're through the siege, or sorry, we're through their walls. We can now make that siege last 6 months. We would lose a ton of troops if it was 6 months, but if we can get it a little bit closer, we can reduce the time on this siege by quite a lot. You are now known as the Old. Hey, it's another example of the events actually showing things off properly. So your sister-in-law and tutor, you see, it now tells you how they are related to you. So, my brother-in-law, have you heard what they call you, my sister-in-law? Plazia says to me while smiling coldly. They call you Count... there's a proper way of saying this, but we'll go with Angoulême, the Old. Not what you would call flattering, perhaps, but it's unlikely you can do anything to change it. For what it's worth, I promise not to call you by that name. Okay, so we lose some prestige for it. But she likes us. Okay, I think the Old is fine for us. Long way to take now? 5 months. Okay, well. Ooh, wow, we just jumped a huge number of months there. We got a great event on our siege. Long way to take now? 4 months. Okay. Where are they going? Oh, they're going to go face this army here. Wait, they have another army that they raised? How did you get another army? Did you raise mercenaries for this war? No, I guess you just had extra armies? Maybe you just happened to get some extra armies from somewhere. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, distract them as much as you like. We'll continue just sieging, I guess. Yeah, this is fine. I'm happy to just siege if they're somewhere up there. Okay, how long would it be now? 4 months still. Okay. I have 2 daughters. Egalantine and Marthe. Well, they're going to have French names instead. We're going to have Giselle and Alex. Okay. Well, cool. 2 daughters. We'll see what we're going to do with them later. Okay. 11 months left on the siege. And we're basically just going to sit and siege it. 10 months. We can make it go to 3 months if we want it to. Okay, they're coming down here. So how fast could we make it? 59 days. Do we know how long it's going to take them to get here? It's going to take them 4 days to get here. So let's go 4, 8, 12, 16... Yeah, they're definitely going to reach us before we finish this siege. 57 days. Hey, you gained Aspiring Blade Master. Nice. Okay, so that's my son and personal champion is now Hastludor and Aspiring Blade Master, so he's definitely improving. Okay. If I go back to the army here, could have somebody better lead it. It might be worth us leading it temporarily. Although if we die, the war is over. 53 days. Do we think that they're going to win this battle? I think it's going to be closer than we would want it to be. I have no unraised soldiers available. Okay. Anything else that we could do? I could stick myself in charge. That's the only thing we can do. We would be a better commander. Yeah, kinda. Although our minimum role would not be as good. Our allies are still here, right? Yeah. 7 months left. I think we just have to hope that we win. They're probably going to get defending in forest, though. Oh, it thinks we're going to lose because of defending in forest. Oh, they have a defensive building? What defensive building do they have? This. So this increases their fort level? I don't think that actually affects us in any way. Oh, is it the castle, maybe? Don't think the castle affects us. No? No, I think we're... Oh, no, there you go. Defensive holding advantage, +6. So they have a +6 there. Their best leader is 20. While our best leader is not that good. Now, our men-at-arms apparently counter them. What's our allies' best person? 5. Okay, I think we have to lead ourselves here. We might lose. I was kind of banking on Denmark winning this for us. Denmark are coming back. Did you win your other war? You did. Oh, wonderful. Well, this is going to be quite close. Yeah, we did lose. I lost my personal champion as well. My son is currently imprisoned. Would you give him back? No, he's a prisoner of war. Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't give him back. We now have negative ticking war score against us, and they captured our third heir. Right. We now see how the war is looking. We've lost 2.7. They've lost 2.1. Okay. A jovial merchant pressed a sack of seeds into my hands. Plants he claims fortify both health and mind. I must admit I have little experience of nurturing plants, but how hard could it be? I want to start a garden. I think at 60 years of age? Yeah, 60 years of age. I don't think it's time for us to be a gardener. I think it's time for us to earn some money. By the way, we have a lot of money. We should probably do some building, but let's focus on the war first. So now Denmark is back. Now the benefit of Denmark being back is they actually have siege equipment. So this will make the siege a lot quicker. Which is why I was very disappointed to see them go initially. Right, make your way back up here. And now they're back. And, well, they're sieging. Denmark, I can't help but notice you're disappearing again. Did you enter into another war? No, I think they might be chasing armies or something. Yeah, no, we're going to go siege Denmark. All together now. Child of my blood. So, my granddaughter, who is the child of Princess Arpad of Croatia. Oh no, Princess Arpad Margit of Croatia. Okay, yeah, it's one of those ones where the name's the other way around. So she has had a child. And this child shall have a good French name of Ida. Okay. That's fine. Heading over here. Now sieging. How quick's the siege going? 9 months. Well, it turns out siege equipment helps. You would like to let my son go in order for us to end this war? Absolutely not. I am instead going to siege. I don't think we're actually in charge of the siege yet either, because I can't tell us to assault. That's okay. Okay. So the Prince of Denmark, who is the son of the person who is currently in our war, would like to marry my granddaughter, who is currently living life in Skane. Wait a second. Skane being, I also realized, up in Denmark. Okay. Well, I think that seems perfectly okay. You know what? Yeah, let's get closer ties with this family. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. We will get closer house relations, and we get a specific alliance with him as well. Except, we are now further integrating with the house, or House Estrid of Denmark. Okay. Love how it's like, you should pay a ransom for your son, and I'm like, yeah, I know. He doesn't want to accept a ransom for my son, because it would be devastating for the war. But anyway, new stewardship lifestyle perk. We are going to grab Fearful Troops. Men at Arms maintenance goes down per dread. Now our dread is only 18 right now, but it goes down, which is fine. A little bit. By 9%. That's 100% war score. So, after losing 3,000 troops on each side, okay, it crashed again, but we are now at the end of the war once more. We are going to enforce demands. We cannot exchange hostages. We're going to gain some fame. Our allies are going to gain some prestige, but we're all mostly okay. So let's enforce demands. I will disband my army. We will skip this lesson as we don't need it. Legitimacy has gone up from winning the war, and we are now in control of this little bit of land, which is nice. For now, being in charge of this land is great, although we are going to have to stop our marshal from doing this and instead stick our marshal onto increasing control. Okay, so we've got 5 years left on that. Okay, and in a couple of years, we're then going to end up with a lot more money. We do have a problem, however, and that problem is our succession is not going to look great, because we're going to lose some titles to our other son. Can I change succession? I don't think so, right? As in, I don't think we have any other succession types. It's in law, not in succession, of course. Because I don't think we can switch to primogeniture. Does not have primogeniture innovation. Yeah. How far away are we from getting that innovation? Or any innovation like that? A long way away. We're a long way away because it's actually in this place. Yeah, so it's actually all the way in here. And we're not even in late medieval yet, so... Yeah, okay. The other thing I want to check with that then is... Can we switch to house seniority? If our vassals were okay with it and we had high crown authority, yeah. Okay. I don't necessarily want to do that right now, but that's interesting to know. Also, we now have this bishop, who I assume is a bishop in this new area. He is. Why does he hate me? Wants a seat on the council. That's fair. Hey, guess what? I think you're about to... Actually, I can't replace him because I can't revoke clerics. Oh, okay. Is he good at anything else? No. Alright, well, you know, not much I can do about that. Anyway, we've expanded, we've increased the amount of land that we have, we're a little bit stronger, we have a huge amount of money, and we're going to figure out how to spend that next time. So, thank you very much everybody for watching. Please, if you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of stuff that everyone tells you to do. It really helps in the first episode of a series, as it really helps with search rankings when people are looking for videos. Also, we did have many crashes in this episode. Gonna try and fix it for next episode. We have many different solutions that I'm trying over and over again, but it could be that I just turn on another machine. So we'll figure all that out between episodes, hopefully. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.